All right, you guys ready? Deployment, yay. I don't know 100% that we'll be able to finish today, but we'll see how we do. I'm sure we'll run into errors and problems. I brought Ben up to help us, and we have Marcus here to help us as well. Online guys, can you see and hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. I'm also recording this if you guys will want to watch it in the future for reference when you go to deploy your next application. But there's a bunch of caveats that I kind of want to start off with. First of all, there's a lot of different ways to deploy. DigitalOcean is a great service that will give you some server space for very cheap. Especially for our purposes, that's great. Ben introduced me to something called Now, which is kind of like the Surge for full stack apps. If you remember when we did Surge for front end stuff, it was as easy as typing Surge. You can do something similar with Now. There's a little more setup because you have to use an online database like Mongo Labs. Use Mongo Labs to spin up your database and save your data, but that's also free up to a certain amount of storage. And anyway, so I would recommend checking out Now as well if you just need something up as fast as possible. I like going through DigitalOcean with you guys to really kind of round out your understanding of server administration and what it takes to get things up and running and stuff like that. So are there any questions before we start? I'm gonna have you guys choose a full stack project, and probably your first full stack project, the one that had authentication and stuff that we added to it. And but if you have something else you want to deploy, that's totally fine. And yeah, let's get started. So navigate to your DigitalOcean account and log in. Does anybody not have a DigitalOcean account yet? Everybody? So Ben sent a link earlier that gives everybody, I think it's like $10 or something, which is good for 2 months worth of hosting. So I'll give you a minute or two to sign up for that. Okay, for those who already have an account, you're just going to click the green Create Droplet button. And Ben will help you get caught up when you're ready. Okay, so that'll bring you to this screen that has all the options that you want for your droplet. And all a droplet is, like, because they're called DigitalOcean, this is a droplet in the ocean. Basically, it's just a small virtual private server that they set up. It's actually just a piece of, like, a separated piece of an existing server. And we're going to keep the default distribution. It's going to be Ubuntu 16.04. Probably want to change this to $5 a month for the standard size. Gives you 20 gigabytes of hard drive space. It's more than enough for what we're doing right now. Yeah. So does that mean between apps you deploy, or is that for that one app? So this isn't an app. This is like the server space that you have. So we will put all of our apps on this one. As many as you can fit in 20 gigs, yeah.
So $5, it's not a ton. Is that like, what would $5 be capable of doing? Just like a handful of static sites, or is that?
You could do a whole lot of static sites with 20 gigabytes of space, because none of it takes up very much space, unless you start putting, like, loading images and videos right on there. That'll fill up your space fast.
So like,
but
how much of the CPU only a half
No, not much. No. I mean, with the kind of traffic that you'll be dealing with, when, if you're building an app that gets like thousands or millions of hits, then you'll want to up the CPU a little bit. But if you're getting that kind of traffic, $20 a month ain't bad. There's also there's a service called Linode, which is another very similar offering. And then another one that I forget the name of, but I think it starts with a W. I can't remember what it's called. It's another really popular one. Everything else, I'll probably leave the same. Oh, except for this SSH key. Okay, I want to add an SSH key because, I'm sorry? Yeah, if you want to choose like one of the other US ones, you can, but I just usually leave it where it is. Okay, we're going to add a new SSH key. This is going to make our lives easier for connecting from our computer to the server's terminal. And so I'm going to open up my terminal, my real terminal here. And I'm going to say cat space tilde slash .ssh, and that should tab complete for you. If it doesn't, maybe raise your hand. Okay, slash ID underscore RSA.pub. And this is going to print, we made this when we were setting up our GitHub accounts. We made an SSH key so we could more easily connect with our GitHub. And that's going to print this craziness here. You're just going to take everything, including the SSH-RSA at the beginning, if you have it, all the way through this little, maybe an email address or maybe the name of your computer.
Does this need to be done in a specific file or location?
The tilde makes it relative to the home directory. Okay, so after you've copied that, you're going to click the new SSH key, paste that in. It's okay if it puts this on its own line. And then give it some kind of name that's probably like the name of your computer or your name or something like that. So I'm going to say like vSchool Mac Pro 1. Okay, is everyone following that? Where you caught up? Okay. If I were you, I would choose a different host name, something that's a little more memorable. I like to do something like the URL that I want this to deal with, like bobsroll.com, or you might just put some kind of like username. I think it can't have spaces, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. I'm going to say vSchool. So far all I've changed was $5 a month. I added an SSH key that was this computer's SSH key, and I changed the host name, and then click create. This usually takes a few seconds, sometimes up to a minute or two, and then it gives you a really inspirational message. At least it used to. We'll see if it still does. We'll see who gets the most inspirational message. Ooh. Who can beat that?
Oh, man, mine's lame. I gotta say, happy coding.
Yeah, mine's happy coding too.
Coding.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Mine's let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Okay, so you'll notice that it gives you an IP address here. You can go ahead and copy that. Just click anywhere on the IP address. That is the unique IP address for your machine that you've set up. And the very first thing we're going to do is in my terminal. So remember we talked about how this server space doesn't have like a monitor or a keyboard or a mouse attached to it off in New York, you know, region 3, wherever that is. Instead, my way of interfacing with this is going to be through my terminal. So I'm basically going to log into my machine in New York and be able to manipulate everything there. And this is why we spend, you know, a good amount of time doing stuff from the terminal. We have you do all of your Git commands in the terminal so that you get familiar with using the terminal, because you ain't going to fly to New York and attach a monitor to your server. So
That was my plan, Bob.
they'll probably kick you out, or you'd fry up in their hot server environment. Actually, it's probably cooled, right? It's got to be cooled. So to get in, we're going to use SSH, which is secure shell. And what's that? Oh, it doesn't matter where you are in your terminal now. You can do it from anywhere. So you're going to SSH space. And we're going to start by logging in as the root user. And then the @ symbol. And then paste your IP address. And you'll probably get this thing that says, are you sure you want to continue connecting? You'll type yes. Okay, and here we are. And this little prompt looks like a little face too. I always like that.
So we're saying yes.
Yes. No, wait, don't do it. It's a bug. I just closed down my computer and I'm like, peace.
Oh my God, and then it says the name.
There it is. Okay, so we're going to do a little orientation around an Ubuntu server. Okay, just a couple important places for us to know about. These are just things that I've just done so many times that I've memorized, and the more you do it, the more you'll memorize it, but it wouldn't hurt to take notes, or you can watch this video later if you want. One of the places that we're going to talk about is I'm going to cd to /var. Okay, so /var is a location, just starts with root and then var. It's the name of the folder. And we're all going to make a new directory. What's the command for make directory? We're going to make the directory called www. So make sure you cd into /var first, and then make your www. And then.
So Bob, I haven't had to do cd/var. What does that do exactly?
This is just a location in the computer, or a location in the server where people put their projects, typically, yeah. Okay, so once I'm in there, I can cd into www. Yeah, Evan. What's that? Oh, what did you type in?
So I did cd/var/,
Oh, that should be fine.
but it didn't pop up with all these things.
Oh no, I typed list. I listed it.
Oh, okay. Big head for me.
Okay, so then make dir www and cd into it. This is where you will put all of your projects. Okay, so how do you think we're going to get projects to our server in New York? Close.
Do we use an FTP?
I guess we will be using Git, but yeah, one way is to use FTP, where you actually like set up a secure connection to your server and then just transfer files right over. We're going to use GitHub as our source, like that's our code is already online. We're just going to pretend that this is yet another person working on our project, and we'll just clone our projects down. And then when you update your projects in the future, you won't have to like make an FTP connection and drag your stuff over in the window. Instead, you're just going to log on and do a git pull, right? You push from your machine and then go to this machine and pull down. So that's another helpful thing. Now this is a fresh computer. It doesn't have Node, it doesn't have NPM, it doesn't have NVM, it doesn't have Git or any of that stuff. So we're going to spend a good amount of time setting all that up.
Bob, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this the same as like deploying to Heroku from Git kind of thing?
It's kind of like Heroku minus all the magic that Heroku does for you.
Okay. That helps. Thank you.
Basically doing everything manually.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is one location to remember, /var/www. This is where you're going to put your code. Another important location is I'm going to cd into /etc, which I think is for like etc, like miscellaneous stuff. Oh, you know what? We don't have Nginx installed yet. Never mind. We're gonna install Nginx. So I guess this is the time for us to start installing some stuff. First thing I'm going to do, and I don't think it'll be super necessary, but I'm going to say sudo, and then Ubuntu has a package manager called apt-get, apt-get. It's kind of like Homebrew. Remember we were using Homebrew to get some of our packages. I'm going to tell it to update all of its packages. So let me clear this out. So it's alone sudo apt-get update.
Hey, can you scroll up on the code you say? Further. Is that?
As far as it goes.
Oh, as far as it goes. Where do you right after you do cat and then the SHRB?
Oh yeah, I guess I can, let me post some of these in here. So you'll do SSH root at IP address here. Is that the line you're looking for?
Yeah.
Cool. And then cd into /var. Okay, and that's as far as we've gotten.
You got an error could not resolve listing IP address or node name or.
Did you copy and paste that instead of putting in your real IP address?
See through the
I can't find the IP address, IP-address- here.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah. I would solve it.
I don't understand what's so hard about stirring. Like, why add all this garnish? Like,
Just get it fresh, you don't have to stir.
right? You're also in the natural peanut butter stuff.
Well, after you get it fresh and like it's not separated. It's sitting like on a shelf. Yeah.
Good for you. An excellent contribution.
Okay, so
I like I don't like plates. It's just extra peanuts.
It's just chocolate peanuts. I feel like it retains the dumping.
Yeah, it does.
You're just so feeling
It's not
Literally 99.9% of everything is
Thank you. That's so endearing of you.
It's somewhere between there and then just
okay.
I love when it was not making fun of people, making fun of you.
Ashford just sits Yeah, you see, that's why that's not at first. That's not that. You just like materialize and make like a version of ET.
So right now, we signed the chapter is tied to conversation ID, which is tied to the so like if I have your user ID, I can open up the chapter.
Fridays.
Okay, so did everyone run that update command?
No, what was it?
I posted it in Slack. Sudo apt-get update. It's that one.
I just found out it's gonna be like $20 to get around and shit that on the street. And like, get a bunch of those things.
Might as well just buy a skateboard and do that.
No, you just want my skateboard.
Leave that skateboard with me, I'll take care of it.
While you're gone. I'm gone.
Here is Safari.
Okay, we're ready to move on?
See.
All right, let's do it. Okay. Let's see, there's so many things to install. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with Nginx. Okay, so Nginx is it's like a computer's native web server. Okay, so this sits on your computer and it can be configured to serve up web pages just like we're using Express and Node to serve up web pages. Okay, we are going to use Nginx to do something that's what's called a reverse proxy. And it sounds fancy, huh? So reverse proxy just means this. So this is our DigitalOcean server. And we have maybe like, let's say 5 applications here that are all running in Node. Our Nginx reverse proxy is going to kind of be like an interceptor for incoming requests that say, what's the address you're trying to get to, right? Is it bobsroll.com? Is it mycoolsite.com? Is it something else.com? And it will take that and then send the request to the correct application. And in this way, we can run many applications on our one server by using something like Nginx. So multiple websites, multiple web apps, multiple databases, etc. So we're going to install Nginx by doing sudo apt-get install nginx. Doesn't start with an E. I'll put this in. Yeah. It's a package manager. apt-get is a package manager, and it's kind of like Homebrew in its how it gets stuff.
What's natively built on the servers?
Yes, it will in Ubuntu. Yeah, in Linux. Okay, I'm gonna say yes. Okay, so far so good. Okay, and one thing I forgot is that Nginx actually creates this www folder for you. So we didn't actually have to create that. In fact, if you do an ls to see everything, you'll see that they've also added this HTML folder. And that's because this is where Nginx, this is one of the places that Nginx looks at its files. Right? It has its own files and so forth. Now, I've never done these steps before. I guess I should link this. I'll send this as a link because this is the follow along I'm using. It says we need to adjust some firewall settings. Never had to do this before, but this is also my first time using version 16 instead of 14 for Ubuntu. So I'm just gonna follow along. If you type this sudo ufw apt list, you should get basically the same thing. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this in there, sudo ufw allow nginx http. This is true on the fly because I've never done this before. It's thrilling. My heart is racing. Except I just did what they said and it didn't show up as active. Well, famous last words. I hope this doesn't come back to bite us. Don't do this yet. Let me try something. Oh, cool. Okay. So what I did is I went to DigitalOcean. I took my IP address and just put it in my URL bar. And you can see that Nginx is taking that incoming request and serving up this really basic welcome to Nginx page that they have. I believe that that is sitting inside the HTML folder. Index, let me, yeah, so this is that HTML file that's inside the HTML folder. Welcome to Nginx. If you see this page, the web server is successfully installed and working. And that's what I see. So awesome. You don't have to go in and check any of that. Did that work for you guys? When you put in your IP address, you see the welcome to Nginx? Okay, then I'm just gonna skip this other stuff. Probably it's gonna come back and bite me, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck now. I'm in one of those weird editors that it pulls up. What are the ways to get out?
What did you follow my VI command?
No.
So what, like what?
Oh, I got out of it with a Control Z. I did that next command it gave, the status of Nginx or Nginx, and it like put me in this weird editor, but Control Z got me out. So
I think any key will get you out of that one, because I did that too, and I hit Q and it got me out.
okay, cool.
Okay, so now that Nginx is installed, I can show you some other important places in Nginx. So I've already shown you the HTML, like this www. This is where you're going to put your stuff. I'm going to cd into /etc/Nginx. And I'm just going to list everything here. Okay, there's a few important files that are just good to know where they are. One is this nginx.conf. I don't think we'll mess too much with this, but this is configuration for Nginx itself. A little more importantly is sites available and sites enabled. Let's see. What these will include are configuration files that we will use to basically set up our reverse proxy. So this is where we say, I want a new site called bobsroll.com. And so I'm going to say the server name is bobsroll.com, which means Nginx, when it sees an incoming request to bobsroll.com, it knows where to send, like which files to send in the end. Jay. Is it slash? You start with a slash. Yeah, it's from that. Okay, so I'm gonna just, you don't have to do this part, but I'm gonna show you the default configuration file that Nginx puts in sites available. And you'll see that there's a ton of comments and only a little bit of open code. The black code is actually what's making stuff happen. And you'll see some things here. For example, listen 80 means listen on port 80. Remember I said port 80 was the default port for incoming requests. This also sets it up as a default server, which just means I think if nothing else works, but it still points to this IP address, it will use this server configuration block. It says the root folder for all the files that it will be sending is /var www.html. So we looked into that. And then it says the index, or like the home page, is either called index.html or maybe index.htm, or in this case, index.nginx-debian.html. I don't know why server name is underscore. And we'll worry about location blocks later. But you can see there's just a couple lines that it needs in order to successfully serve up web pages. So this is kind of how this works. When you type in an IP address, it already knows exactly which server to go to because you gave it an IP address. If you remember, we talked about host names and having your own URLs, like bob.com, which unfortunately is tragically misused. So you go to bob.com and it goes to a registry that says, what's the IP address that I should forward requests to? And that registry says, oh, it's, something dot something dot something dot something. And then it says, okay, and then it goes on to forward to that IP address, the server living at that IP address. And then we have Nginx set up to say, what's the host name? What's the server name that they're trying to get to? And if it's bob.com, then send them to /var/www/bob. That's the root folder, and look for the index file here. If it's, blah.com, then send them over here. Meanwhile, I've gone everywhere I registered these addresses like bob.com and blah.com. And I've said, this is the IP address you should go to. And it's all points to this same server. So these files are what let Nginx know how to do this job here. And those are in sites available. Now the way DigitalOcean, or the way that Nginx has set it up, is that just by putting a configuration block in sites available doesn't all of a sudden make it active. It's like a place where you do your work, and then when you're ready to finally deploy a site, you simply do a link into sites enabled that points to that same file in sites available. It's kind of like, what do they call them on Mac? It's, I guess if you make an alias. So if I make an alias of like a folder, it doesn't like duplicate the folder. It creates a kind of a link to a folder, and you can tell. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
In Windows, they call it shortcuts.
Yeah, so Windows, it's a shortcut. Where's the Finder window? There we go. So if I go to dev, I go to my awesome project, I make an alias. Okay, so that made an alias, and it's got this little arrow that lets you know this isn't the original folder. This isn't actually where it is. If I move this to my desktop, okay, this is saying this is just an alias to where it really is. The actual folder, if I open it, is still inside of dev, right? So yeah, it's a shortcut in Windows if you're more familiar with that. So we're basically going to do the same thing. We're going to create a shortcut, or what they call a link, a symlink, and put it inside of sites enabled, and that lets Nginx know, okay, this site is ready to deploy. I'm like active and ready to go. So we'll do that a little bit later. That's symlink. Evan, is your hand up? Oh, okay. Okay, so that's inside of the Nginx folder. Another important location, and one of the last places that we'll need to care about, is /var/log/Nginx. And this is where they keep their error logs. This is super helpful if something isn't working, or you get like what's the big error we always run into? It's 403 forbidden or something like that. It will tell you here why. Okay, or if you try to start up Nginx and you type something wrong in your configuration block, then it will put the reason why it's failed in your error log here. So this I found really helpful. Um, okay, let's. Let's see. I want to install Node next. Actually, let's install Git next. I think this one's pretty straightforward. Yeah. So you're going to type sudo apt-get install git it git. Don't get those confused. Install.
So now that we're in the vulnerable,
Oh, it won't matter. Oh, it looks like it already comes with Git installed. What's that?
Fair enough.
Okay, we're done with that. Okay, I'm gonna have some extra tools that we're gonna need to get. And so check Slack for this command. We're gonna get build essential and libssl dev. And I just put that in Slack, so hit that and then hit yes. By the way, sometimes when you copy stuff from Slack, if I put the backticks around it to make it code like that, sometimes it will copy those backticks. So just double check that you don't have backticks in your code before you hit enter. Okay, did that work? Did that work for people? Gabe, does yours work? It's going. I know I'm torn. I don't know if I should have us just install Node.js straight or if we should install NVM and use NVM to install Node. No, we're just gonna install Node directly. Okay, so we're gonna do sudo apt-get install Node.js. Mine didn't like
I
that.
didn't know .js in that slogan starter package.
Oh, don't do a dot in there. It's probably a terrible, terrible virus.
Yeah, mine's sorry. What if they mean that it's in the program not
You're like, I'm getting reports that all the power is off in DC. So okay.
If you do Node.js dash version, it comes up with the version number. That option.
Well, I spelled Verison, so
Mine does.
I don't think this is the right package.
Did you have this too, Bob?
Mine's wicked.
We just started saying.
Exactly this many people this action. That's all you.
Tom says that preparing for world domination.
So in my normal terminal, Node.js isn't in there, but just Node is.
Hmm.
And that version is 6.9.
Okay.
Yeah, it just installed another, I think the dot separated it.
So it didn't do anything with the dot.
No, it's just, you know,
So then you have
Okay, everything online says just to do apt-get install Node.js. So maybe this is the sign that we're supposed to do it through NVM. Oh, actually, this says because of a conflict with another package, the executable from the Ubuntu repositories is called Node.js instead of Node. Keep this in mind as you're running the software. Okay, so this might. Wow, that's still, that kind of stinks. Well, let's just move forward and see if that comes back to bite us as well.
This is really exciting.
What's that?
This is really exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty thrilling just to fly by the seat of your pants. And
So if it worked for us, we're just supposed to go forward from here?
yeah,
Okay.
like mine installed, it just doesn't know. I can't say node dash dash version. I have to say Node.js dash dash version. But I just checked my personal DigitalOcean, which is Ubuntu 14.04, and Node works, but Node.js does not. So who knows?
Yeah, so if I do the node dash dash version, it says the program node is currently not installed. You can install it by typing apt install Node.js legacy.
Right, that's what I have there.
Yeah, but when I did the Node.js, it went just fine.
Right,
So
so that's the same thing that we did.
we'll do.
This might work too, Node.js legacy, I don't know.
And yeah, if I do the Node.js version, it gives me back the version number. So
Okay, well, Node.js works, so that'll be fine for now. We might have to create a symlink from Node to Node.js later so that I can fix a few things. But okay, we're also going to want to install npm. So I'm going to say sudo apt-get install npm. It's in Slack.
Get an email or a message from some app.
We're seeing the community response back to that, and it's been like an hour. I guess it's a couple of days, but
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
yeah, let me send you as well. It's really, Chris, I just want to say that. He doesn't love
Okay. Now, when we've run our Node applications, how have we been doing it? Yeah, so we've been using either Node or NodeMon to run the Node program. But what happens to our terminal after we do that? It's occupied. Yeah, it turns into the server logs, right? So if we were to just run like node server.js, we'd be like, great, now I can't do anything on this computer. Like it's being, occupied. It's being completely used. So we're going to use a process manager, which very creatively is called PM2 for process manager. I think process manager. And it's going to make sure we have npm. Okay. I'm going to run npm install -g PM2.
So, why?
So the process manager is really nice. It's going to help us run programs in the background. So we'll say like PM2 start server.js, and that, I think that's how you do it at least. And that's going to basically use Node to start up the server.js file, but in the background. It's also really cool because it keeps track of a lot of stuff. It'll tell you like how long it's been up since the last time you restarted it, and just stuff like that. Yeah.
So since we installed Node on this machine, does it no longer run Nginx? Is that how that works?
No, it'll.
So Nginx is running Node, which is running npm.
Well, not exactly. Node will spin up our web server, and Nginx is kind of like an entry point that's sitting there that intercepts incoming requests and directs it to our Node applications that are running. So what's nice about this is that we can still say, like, run on localhost port, 8000, and we'll just tell Nginx, hey, if you have an incoming request asking for port 8000, then go to this Node app. And it will go to that Node app, and then it'll be just like on our localhost. So yeah, they live in harmony okay. Okay, I'm going to mess with something real quick and just see if I can get this to work. I'm going to go into, you don't have to do this, but var www. We're going to make a directory called test. Remember what goes in www? Yeah, all your projects, all your code. So I'm going to create a server.js file.
What did you call that directory again?
Test, but you don't have to do this. Okay, so notice when I use Node.js to run that little server that just has, all it has is app.listen. It's working, but it took over my machine here. So I'm going to use PM2 to start server.js. This is what I was afraid of. Well, that seemed to work a lot better. Okay. PM2. Look how retro awesome that is. Okay, so I'm gonna have you run this as well. PM2 automatically runs Node in the background, but because Node wasn't working and it had to use Node.js, I ran this because that's what Node told me to do, Node.js legacy, and that worked like a charm. So let's also run that. I'll put that in.
Job designer using just underscores and slashes.
Yeah, they hired a designer just for this. Like, all right, you're done. Contract work.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Hey, when I ran that last one, the PM or the NPM version, or sorry, the PM2, it just kicked me out of the what was it? The www/, and now I'm just in my regular dev.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Okay, so you'll just hit up and you should have your SSH command again.
Okay, SSH root.
Yeah, just go back in.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if that would be right. Okay, and then do I still got to do the www or www?
You don't have to be following this. I'm just testing it to make sure it works. When
Right.
you get your projects in, you have to install PM2, but don't worry about starting anything.
Okay, I think I might have installed it, but after I installed it, kicked me out. So
Yeah, that was strange. Do install apt-get, or do the apt-get install Node.js-legacy though, that I posted in Slack.
oh, okay.
You need sudo before you just post it in the Slack.
No, technically you don't because we're signed in as root, and root automatically has all super user. Does anyone know what sudo stands for? Super user do. It's like super user do this. And so when you're not a super user, like you don't have control over everything, you may have to run sudo in order to get privileges or like enact privileges in order to be an admin. But since we're logged in as root, which is the like ultimate super user, we technically don't have to be doing apt-get. Best practice is to create a user on this and give yourself sudo privileges. I kept running, every time I've done deployment, I've run into like serious problems when we did that. So I'm just kind of not following best practice. So sorry. I'm gonna add something here so that it can handle a request. I'm gonna say app.get/ yay, it's JSON. Okay, so I just modified my file. I just want to see if this is running later. And so I can say PM2 restart server.js. And it just starts it up. Tells me how many times I've restarted. Says it was up for 0 seconds, so I don't quite understand that, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh, another thing that's nice about PM2 is that it will automatically restart your apps as it can. So if it errors and then you change the code, it I think restarts itself. I could be wrong. There's a lot of really cool things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, these tools are, the more you
Okay, I think we're at about a point where we can try to start deploying our projects. Yeah. So I was just messing around here trying to make sure that PM2 would work. I'm gonna remove the test folder, everything out. Forget how to completely remove something, but we'll look into it later. Okay, so there's a couple things we'll need to do. One is we probably want to set up our server so that it has its own SSH key. We're going to add that to our GitHub so that they can talk back and forth to each other really easily. Technically speaking, you don't have to do that. You can use the HTTPS link that GitHub gives you, and then you just have to type in your GitHub username and password every time. It's not my favorite thing. So let's set up a SSH key. I'm going to do, and you're going to do SSH-keygen. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's really comes down to.
Okay, when it asks you what file you want to save the key, you can just hit enter. I'm just going to skip the passphrase just because I don't want to have to remember it. Okay, did everyone get this random art? Cool. Yours doesn't look the same. Yours should look identical to this. Here, I'll read it real quick and you can check to make sure that it's exactly the same. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I totally messed it up.
I just did SSH-keygen. It's in Slack.
And then you just hit enter when you do your file and just save.
Yeah, I just hit enter 3 times, basically.
Yeah, it's just like.
Why it's not exactly the same as yours.
I don't know.
No, I mean, it's.
Guess it generated the exact same SSH key.
So you can ask questions.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did on my local machine. I'm going to say cat ~/.ssh /ID_RSA.pub. Just put that in Slack. I'm going to copy all of this.
Okay, something went wrong there. I got no such file or directory.
Did you run the SSH-keygen?
Oh, you know what? I did SSH. Yeah, that's right. ID RSA.pub. Yeah.
Did it?
Wait. I did // instead of /.
Ah.
Aha. Okay, cool. So copy that now.
Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my GitHub account. This is stuff we did like week 1 or 2. Probably looks a little familiar. I get all these notifications every time you guys update your projects. Okay, once you're at GitHub, you'll go to your profile. Just click your little avatar and go to settings. So not profile, but settings. And on the left, you'll see SSH and GPG keys. Click that. You'll click a new SSH key. And give it some kind of unique name. This will be like the vSchool. What's that? It could be, yeah. Sure. Like if you have a URL that you've already purchased or something, a domain name, you can do that. It doesn't have to be the same. Just something that will let you know when you look at this in the future, you know which computer this SSH key belongs to. And so I said like vSchool test DigitalOcean droplet. Okay, after you paste that in, click add SSH key. It'll probably have you type your password, which I'm sure half of you will have trouble getting. I feel like everybody always forgets their GitHub passwords. Unless you have LastPass. Yeah, I don't even know my GitHub password because I had LastPass choose it.
Bob, it only took me 2 tries.
You got it on the 3rd try though? 3rd time's a charm.
Yeah, I have a system.
I have a system. You have like a little decoder ring or something, and
Well, so I work for the federal government. You can change your password
Oh,
every
yeah.
90 days. And
Yeah.
if you don't have a system, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right, Dave? So I have a system. I'm not telling you guys. What's your system? So you know how to secure your passwords or passphrases that are super long. So you pick some like super long passphrases and then you start just changing up certain words every time you use passwords. So pink cats and purple dogs play among the yellow flowers, and for banks, yellow flowers changes to blue flowers, red flowers, orange flowers. But for technology, pink bunnies changes to blue bunnies, orange bunnies. You should certainly have one.
I really don't know yellow fields or whatever the heck it was. That's crazy.
okay, so
My passwords are technically 0. Because I'm definitely the longer the better.
okay.
It only takes a year to hack and be sure.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Okay, we are going to install MongoDB now on our server. just kind of getting all the pieces set into place so that we can deploy an app. Okay, I'm not even gonna have you try to type this one in. Please copy and paste it.
But I want to.
Okay, so I'm just gonna hit enter on that command.
Should we do that too?
Yes, I pasted it in Slack. I have no idea what these commands do. I just always follow along. Some follower. After you enter the first one, enter the second one. Yeah.
PHP.
Okay, and then you'll enter this line. I'm able to locate package MongoDB.org. Okay. Maybe, did everyone get that failure, unable to locate package thing?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. It looks like if you do it without the -org, it works. It's still unpacking and setting up, but
Yeah, there might just be a different package called MongoDB. That's something different. Okay, well,
and then I got a thing that says something about a package called MongoDB-server.
yeah, so just wait a second.
You have to do sudo apt-get update first. And then you can do the
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay, so we added the key. One of those steps was adding the key. And then when you do update, it gets the MongoDB thing. So yeah. Let me modify step 3 here. Yeah, so I just updated Slack. It's got the new instructions. Okay, so yeah, make sure to do apt-get update again first, and then
Yeah, I get an unable to locate package with that one.
it's sudo apt-get. Yeah.
okay. So Melissa, what did you do? Apt-get update first?
I did the one that worked for me was just to do MongoDB without the -org.
Right. So that's a different package that we don't want.
Okay, but when I did the sudo apt-get install yes MongoDB -org, it says unable to locate package.
Right. So did you do apt-get update first?
Oh, okay. That I didn't realize that that's what you did. Okay, so run that first and then the next.
I would also do an apt-get uninstall of MongoDB without
Okay.
the .org because that might be a package we don't want conflicting with the current one.
All right.
That's funny. I just like skipped the update step. I was like, well, we just did it. We don't need to do it again. Don't skip steps.
That gave me an invalid operation uninstall.
Oh, is it not uninstall? 1 second.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. Do remove. Apt-get remove MongoDB.
Huh. Says it is not installed, so not removed. That's weird.
Oh, okay. Well, we just won't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, so did everyone get to this point? They were able to unpack all the MongoDB stuff? Okay, I think it's also automatically running itself in the background. Oh, nope, just kidding. Okay, so there's a little more configuration that we need to do with this that I didn't realize, but it's not too bad. So you're gonna run that command in Slack. I'm using VI. If you want to use Nano, you can use Nano, just any kind of editor. What we're going to do is we're going to create a service file that tells the computer how to handle MongoDB in general. So it knows like how to start up the MongoDB daemon and stuff like that. Okay, and then you're going to paste this. So, oh, first, if you use VI and it puts you in this file with all these little waves, hit the I key to go into insert mode. It should say insert in the bottom left, before you paste in all this stuff.
Mine is not color coded like yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, is everyone up to this point so far? Not quite. Okay, we'll take another second. Okay, you're going to hit escape to get out of insert mode. And then hold shift and hit Z twice. 2 capital Z's. Hold shift. So escape should take you out of insert mode. And then just try to type 2 capital Z's. It won't look like anything's typing, but, well, literally nothing is typing. It's a shortcut command for save and quit. Okay, we're going to start that service that we just made using system controller.
Mhm.
Wait, sorry, real quick. When we have that, after we pasted that, the unit service install in there, we hit escape.
Yeah, hit escape to exit insert mode. And then hold shift and hit Z twice.
Okay, got it.
Okay, then you're going to run this system controller start MongoDB. It might look like nothing happened.
Failed to start MongoDB.service.
Failed to start
It
MongoDB.
says unit MongoDB.service is masked.
Masked.
Mine says it's not.
Yeah.
No, I just.
Okay. Let me look at Dan's real quick and then see if it's a similar problem with yours, Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay, let me, Melissa, do you want to share your screen?
Yep.
It's masked.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this DigitalOcean gift comment, and it's saying something about the only way to make it recognize the service, create the system D unit file as described in the text.
Yeah, let me take control for a second.
Yep. I got it.
Where's that? Where's all that stuff?
So.
System D system. Only to be that service pointing to /dev/null. Interesting.
That's weird.
Okay, maybe that'll fix it. Ah,
Oh, now it's color coded.
good sign. I don't know what I did different, but just give it my magic touch. Nope. Here's MongoDB.service. Okay, so what did this say?
I would like to take
Okay, well, I don't know what it means to mask something, but that seemed to work. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see if that works.
Okay, will do.
Okay, we're also going to enable it so that it will start up MongoDB automatically.
It's still broken.
Oh, yours is still broken, right? Okay. Okay, so that started everything up. And this enable, what it will do is if your server ever restarts or you do like an update or you shut it down and start it up later, it will automatically start up MongoDB for you, so you never have to even think about running the MongoDB server. Uh, okay, sorry, just give me a second. Okay. let's try cloning down an application. So on my GitHub, I'm going to go to a, I don't have a single, I think I got rid of all my full stack apps on here. Well, I'm going to steal one of your guys' projects. Let's go with Skate. Okay, so go to your project in GitHub, your repository, I mean.
Does it matter which one?
Have it be a full stack app. So I would make it the first full stack app that you guys made earlier.
Okay.
I guess I should ask, has anybody not pushed that to GitHub? Okay. Actually, maybe let me see if I still have my to-do app. I'm just going to see if this is working. Doesn't like me. I forget my password. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so this app is working, so I'm actually just going to deploy this real quick. Is this my awesome project? No, well, if you don't have practice authentication, if you don't have your stuff up on GitHub yet, then you should push it up to GitHub. Practice.
Do we need the user authentication part for this? Because I don't know if I pushed that.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, this has a. Okay, so I'm just pushing this up real quick. I don't know if I've got my node modules and my .idea in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a project on GitHub. I'm gonna go clone or download and take my SSH link here. And then on my server, so in var www, oh, and make sure you're in var www, so you'll cd /var/www. I'm gonna say git clone. I'm gonna paste the SSH URL. And by the way, what this will do is create a new folder with all of your files in it, called the same name as your repository. So if you don't want it to be called to-dos, for example, or whatever this is before .git, you can say like my project or something like that. I'm gonna leave it to-dos, but if anything you put here, we'll just change the name of that folder to something else.
So I've got like a couple of things. Do I have to do anything on the slide or
This, so I'm not sure I understand. So this will pull down everything from that repository. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you want to pull everything. Oh yeah, no, the whole project. This will ask if you want to continue connecting. You can say yes. Hopefully that works. Sweet. And now I have my project down. Pulled down to my server. Yep, sure. Yeah. Yes. This is probably a good time to like grab a snack or take a break and stretch. Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily saying for myself, the list are their Slack project would be good is within the project repository that has all of our projects.
The vSchool assignments project. I would move it outside and create a new repository for it. Push it up. Yeah.
So what I know is that I've got several projects in this repository.
You got several what?
Projects.
Is this your assignment?
Yeah, this is the one that I want to do. I don't know. I don't think what like I was listening to a tutorial. So like I don't actually there's a so right now this is a project that one of this somehow this was from What I wanted to do was, it was kind of cool just by itself. It's cool, so what I wanted to do right, so what I did is now we have this. This project to remove the cache, get RM dash RF dash cache.
Yeah, you don't need the F.
You need the F.
And then space.
Space stuff. Oh. This is where it came from. Well, see, the thing is,
Okay, so everyone can see their project folder there. Let's CD into your project. And in your macOS environment, if you want to list everything and show what's called the long form version of it, you do ls space -a for everything, including hidden, and then add an L for the long form. I really like this way of viewing my files so that I can see all the names right on top of each other lined up. In a Unix environment or in a Linux environment, you can do that as a shorthand of LL. And that will do the same thing. It's just really common, so they made it there. Okay, does everyone have your files there? You've got like a config and maybe a public folder, a routes folder, a server folder, a package.json. Ideally, no node modules folder, right? So I'm on a different machine. Why don't I have node modules?
Because it's in the ignore file and wasn't on.
Yeah, I didn't put it in my GitHub because it's in my git ignore file. So if I want to install all those packages, or rather if I ran node server.js, can't find express, explode, right? So how do I get everything? Yeah, just npm install without anything, and let's see if we run into any problems. Okay, that's just the bcrypt thing. Here says no such file or directory. Yours is broken? Okay. Give me just a second. Okay. Yeah.
Just telling me.
Oh, that created. Okay, so we have our app, and what we want to do is this still recording? Okay. By the way, believe it or not, this is like record timing for deployment, so things are going really fast. Which means that you guys are following along really well. Okay, we have our DigitalOcean droplet server. And we need to set up a configuration file in Nginx so that it knows which application to run when we do our code, when we push our code, or when we reach our server, I should say. So over my terminal, I'm going to cd into /etc/nginx/sites-available. And I'll go put that into Slack for quick reference. Okay, and then I'm going to create a new configuration file. It doesn't have an extension or anything, and it's going to be that easy for me to remember, so I'm going to call it to-dos, or whatever your project is. Please don't use to-dos unless you're pushing a to-do app, so that'll be really confusing for you in the future. Make sure you're in sites available first. VI is the text editor. If I put in the name of a file that doesn't yet exist, it will create it. So it's kind of doing both the touch command and the VI command. Okay. And you're going to put in the code that I just posted in Slack, which is this guy. And there's a couple things I'm going to change. Okay, up on my server name, I'm going to delete where it said your droplet IP and actually paste in my DigitalOcean droplet IP address. Okay, so this is on DigitalOcean. I copied the IP address of my droplet that I'm on. and I'm just pasting it there. I took out the angle brackets and everything. It just says server name, space, and then the IP address. Oh yeah, hit the I key first to go into insert mode. Oh. Well, in that case, I don't know. Okay, normally this is where we would put, if you have a purchased domain name, this is where you would put like bobzerol.com. If you owned bobzerol.com, which you don't because I do, but you would put like your IP or your URL there, your domain name there. And that's the way for DigitalOcean to know like, oh, there's an incoming request to bobzerol.com. This is the file that they're saying they want to handle. But because some of you may and some of you may not have your own domain names, I'm not going to add it right now, but you'd put that there and then go to your registrar and forward requests to your URL to this server instead, and then this would pick those up and continue on. And I can help you guys do that later. But for now, we'll just say that they type in the IP address right into the bar, URL bar. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is go down to here where it says your droplet IP and delete that. I haven't done that before where it's actually your IP address. I've just always done localhost. Okay, and then there's one more thing that I need to change. Does anyone happen to see it? Yeah, this is I kind of copied and pasted this from someplace that had already set something up on 3000, but you need to look at whatever port number you are running your project on. So in server.js, my port is 8000 by default. And so I'm going to change this to 8000.
Okay, my window is not liking this cut and paste thing. It's like overwriting stuff and doing weird things.
Do you want to share your screen real quick?
Sure. So like I grabbed it in here, copied it, went to terminal.
Yeah, you can't highlight in, like the highlighting thing doesn't work in these apps. So put your cursor, I mean it highlights but it won't actually delete anything.
Right, and it won't move anything either.
Right, so put your, hit the down arrow till your cursor goes all the way to the bottom.
Okay.
Excuse me, and then hold Control U and just hold it down until everything's gone. Now paste.
Fancy. Haha. Okay. Now when I was trying to move to like your droplet though.
It's just like VI on your local machine or Nano on your local machine. You can't use your cursor. You'll have to like use your arrow keys to move your cursor around. I'm sorry, you can't use your mouse. You have to use your arrow keys to move.
Oh, that is me using my arrow keys.
So are you hitting up?
Okay.
And then right.
Okay. And then should I just be able to like delete back and type in?
Yeah. Yeah, and then paste in your IP address or type it in.
Okay. And then do that again here?
Yep. But you'll have to use your arrow keys to get there. And actually just change that to localhost instead of your droplet IP.
Okay.
Host
8000.
Yep, there you go. Is that the port that you're running your project on?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'll go back and look at it to make certain, but yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that should be it.
Okay, so then is this the Shift ZZ?
Yeah, hit escape first. So then
Okay.
the next thing you'll do is hit escape to get out of insert mode and then try to type 2 capital Z's Shift ZZ.
Cool deal.
Okay, so now you should have in that folder the sites available. You should have a default one, which came by default, and then you should have your project configuration file. And now we're going to create a symlink. Remember, sites available is just a bunch of configuration files that are not yet actually working. I think there's a, hold on. I think there's a way, hold on. Nginx test config file or server file. Test server file. Let me try something. Hold on. Oh, sweet. Okay. So you're going to type, we're going to use a tool from Nginx. So service, we'll use the Nginx tool. We're going to say service Nginx config test. And if the configurations are all correct, then you should get an OK on the right. Okay, so this is something you can do. Does everyone get an okay with that? Awesome. Okay, the symlink syntax is super fun. I'm sure you'll remember it the first time. I'm going to do sudo space ln. This is for creating a link. Space dash s for it being a symlink. And then you provide the full path to the thing you're linking to. So /etc /nginx /sites available /todos. Don't hit enter yet. Because then the second argument is where you're putting the symlink /etc nginx sites enabled. And this isn't even wide enough for me to show the whole thing. And I will paste this into Slack. Yeah, it's as easy as that. Sudo lns
Okay.
nginx sites available to use etc.
Yeah, I lost you and then came back. And I'm not sure if I'm in the right place.
So it doesn't matter where you are to run this one, and I just pasted it in Slack.
Okay.
Okay, so you should hit enter, and it might look like nothing happened.
Yeah, it tried to run the test config and it came back broken pipe because I think I got disconnected from the internet.
Oh, yeah, so that's hit up in your terminal. You should have an SSH root at something.
It's doing it again. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sometimes. Okay, so you were saying go up to the config test again?
Yeah, are you in your server again? Here, why don't you share?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Is there a hash mark at the end of your prompt, or is it a $sign?
There's a hash mark, but it's like the face hash mark thing.
Yeah, so you're just in your, so you're in your server, but you're not in your sites available. I'm gonna share your screen real quick.
Yeah, I'm completely losing you.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. I don't know what's going on here. Okay.
Do you want to share your screen real quick?
Now I lost you again. Yeah, I can try. Okay. So I went back into the www.
Okay, yeah, we're
Think.
that's not the folder we're in, but it doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, I'm completely losing you again. It's just cutting out.
Yeah, well, our internet's pretty stable right now.
Yeah, it's probably mine.
So cd into /etc /nginx. Yeah, that one.
Yep.
And it won't highlight and delete.
Oh, yeah, I do that every time.
Hit Control U. It'll delete everything for you. Oh, that works too. Let's see. Okay, then just hit enter.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. You're caught up now.
Now, okay. So I'm pretty sure I got that saved before that happened. Should I run this now?
I think you may have run it, but let's check it. So go to your terminal.
Okay.
And everyone can do this part too. From your terminal, go do ls / sites enabled.
Oh, it's hyphenated, yes.
Sites - enabled.
Huh? Crap. I put in to-dos there instead of my name.
Oh, yep. Yep, we don't want to-dos. What's
Okay.
Did you do the
Yeah, no, not that.
Yeah, so those, everything should
And then I'm in the wrong place.
Is anybody else's red instead of blue?
Wait, did you follow that application?
What's that?
Which part?
Okay, and what was the chat? I'm in the wrong
Anybody
file.
else has a blue file? Let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen again?
Yep.
Okay, you also notice that when I do an ls-al, or I guess I could have done an ll, it shows that like to-dos points to, and this is the actual file, sites available. What's nice about this is that anytime I edit something, I'll edit it in sites available, and it will, after one command, it'll automatically reload everything and be updated. Okay, one more command, and then we're gonna start debugging because I'm pretty sure it won't just work off the bat, but let's see how it goes. I'm gonna do service nginx reload. And usually that shows me stuff. Hold on.
All right.
It's not showing me anything, which is really disconcerting. Here's failed. Okay. We're struggling a little bit. There's my bad gateway. Well, this is what error logs are for. So I'm going to print out my error logs at /var nginx var log, or I just forgot it. Var log nginx error.log. Connection refused. Oh, I didn't start my server, did I? Okay, let's try one more thing. Well, not just try one more thing. We have to do one more thing. CD into our projects. It'll be /var www and then your folder name. And we're going to use PM2 to start our server file so that it runs in the background. It's really disconcerting. Why doesn't it show anything? Oh, hey-yo. So I just ran a whole gamut of Service Nginx commands, but I think you should be okay to do Service Nginx reload after starting your server and then going to your IP address. I haven't tested anything else out yet. I haven't checked the terminals. It's up.
Hey, Steve, what was the last command? I've got the server running, and what is it?
Service NG. Service. And then just type in this mark.
Okay, so I'm getting an error.
Which one? Yeah.
Hey, just having issues. Freak out. Okay. Thanks.
That should be 100.
So I'm getting an error.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, that's it. That's it. 1 second. Okay, raise your hand if you have problems, Alex?
I am.
Yes. It works. That there. It comes sliding in a wall. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's way closer, guys. Yeah. 7:40. 7:40. Yeah. You guys got what house on so. Yeah. Yeah. Seat selection. You get to it? Yeah, you did. Just pick two next to each other, whatever.
Well, I guess you do. Oh yeah, that's fun.
It's actually quite a bit simpler. Has anybody tested their app? Like, can you create an account and log in and? Sort of. It won't have your data. So the data that was in your local MongoDB, it won't have. We can, like, if you want, we can export that to a file and then import it on your server. Yeah, so anytime you make a change, well, first, before we do that, Mike, did you say you were having an issue?
Yeah.
Okay, let's, do you want to share your screen? We'll figure it out.
So this was the error code I got. So I tried this system control status, and this came up.
Yeah, let me, I'm going to poke around a little bit. Because I bet you're having the same problem that other people were having. Which is, available. But that needs to say server. Oh, except you have two of them. Service, Nginx, start.
Hey. All right, cool.
Okay. It looks like, I don't know if people are just not copying the whole thing or if Slack is doing a weird thing with the not getting the S in server, but double check your server config file and make sure that you have the S in server.
I had the same issue in the.
Hey, Bob.
1 second.
Okay.
Did you check this out?
No. Sweet. Thanks.
Okay, Melissa, what's up?
Since I did that thing where I accidentally used the to-dos in it, I have like this red and black to-do file in that list. How would I get that out of there?
You can use the RM command. So
Okay, so I can just go over to sites enabled and remove that without a problem?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this, like what we're doing right now, this is what usually deployment is like on every single step of the way.
There's more than one drop.
Yeah, we can start as many drops as you want. That's $5 a piece though. It'll be $5 a piece, but this one droplet will support all of your applications.
Oh, really?
Like the ones that we do in class at least. As long as they're not going to be super high traffic,
That's cool.
then we can use this one to spin up everything. Is this the rest of Where is this one? So pushing individuals forward, pushing forward. And now, forward. Oh, it's because I didn't do it. So you definitely want to make sure that this was successful. That's it. It's trying to find. It's trying to find.
Z?
Yeah.
This is the one I was trying to add.
Yeah. I was like, is this one next? I'll get more help here. Oh, yeah, that's the thing, I can't go. Yeah. Unless I live really close. Like, oh, we have stuff in 2 days.
Okay, who got their project up online? Someone else still listening? Yours is not quite done. Who else had a? Great. Let me look at your guys' stuff. And then, Josh, yours isn't working, you said? Oh, it is working. Okay. Okay, so all of that was kind of crazy. Am I still recording? Let me make sure I need to share my screen. Yep, still recording. Okay, so all of that was kind of crazy, but like 90% of that was server setup stuff. Okay, so let me show you. You don't have to follow along, but and this is being recorded so you can look at it later. I'll show you what it looks like to upload a static web page, just a static site, which I guess you two should follow along, Alex and Aaron. So I'm going to go to just any other project locally and find a good one.
Can we follow along with a static site that makes constant API?
Sure, yeah, if you want to. Like just a front end site should work just fine.
So like our Angular site.
Uh-huh. Yeah, your personal Angular project would work. In fact, this is what I'll do. I'm just going to create a new project and show you how quick this can be.
And we're going to learn how to like do a git pull to update.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so practice, we'll say deployment. I'm going to open this. I'm going to get the chill monkey GIF.
Right, these are not supposed to have it in our main folder. We're going to do more.
Right, yeah, it'll have to be separate. Copy link address. I'm going to make an HTML page. Make a style sheet. I always forget this, but perfect full page backgrounds. Hello world, let's check this. Come on. Where's my GIF background? Oh, that's not the right URL. No, my GIF won't come through as a background.
You can have peanut butter as a background.
Let's try this one. Oh. The hardest part I'm having is getting this to be my background. Man, it does not like that. Okay, whatever, forget it. Hello world is fine. I'm going to turn this into a Git repository. Git init, git status, git, oh, let's create a gitignore file. DEA, I don't need node modules, but ds store, git add, git commit. Don't have a repository yet, so GitHub, new repository, hello world. Copy that link, git remote add origin, oring. Origin, git push, dash u origin master. And then over on my server, I'm going to clone hello world. And now if I have a static file, I don't need to run a server with PM2 or any of that stuff, right? All I need to do is create a new configuration in sites available. So you guys will go to sites available, or anybody that wants to push one of these. And I'm going to create a new configuration via, I'll call it hello. And at its most simple, I can say server, and this won't autocomplete braces for you, so I always type both braces. And I'm going to tell this to listen. If you have a, well, this isn't going to be quite as straightforward, but I'm going to say listen on, so like 5678. That means it's not going to be listening at port 80 just because this won't be running on port 80. Well, actually for you guys, let me think. Yeah, you guys can say listen 80 on this for now. I have to say this because I have another configuration file that's already listening on 80 with the same server name. You'll have to type this out. Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, just make yours look like this one looks in the end. Hit the I key to go into insert mode, and then you can like delete everything you want. Okay, I want to tell it where the root folder is of the index file. And so it's going to be /var/www/ what do I call it? Hello. This has to be exact, so I'm actually going to exit here and oh, so see, it cloned it into hello-world. So if I cd into var www hello world, I'm actually going to just copy this so that I get it exactly right. Oh, that needs to be root. And I'm just going to make my server name be the same IP address that I had before. Now, again, when you deploy this and you have like a URL, you'll put your actual URL there.
What's the command to switch a file into a different one? Or like to move a folder?
MV.
MV.
Yeah, that'll move a folder from the, or MV space, the name of the file you want to rename or move, and
So
then
if I'm like in
space.
the current folder on the move, can I just do MV space and just /www?
If that's where you want to move it. And just tab complete your folder name so that you know for sure that it exists. Yeah.
Do I need those location stuff?
That's a good question. I would delete it for now. I'm not 100% sure. I want to see if this works. Yeah, before I have you get too far, let me make sure this works. Cool. Yeah, so this is all, that's all you should need for that file. Is those 5 lines. Run that up there. And so this is saying I'm listening on, oh, actually, just kidding. There should be one more thing. I guess it figured it out on its own, but another thing you should add is index. And tell it the name of the file that the index is at. So this is how this works. It says I'm creating a new server block, and I'm going to be listening on port 5678. If you guys, I think, could say listen 80 so that you don't have to type :5678 after your IP address. And when I find an incoming request to port 5678, this is the index file is called index.html. And the root of the project where I can find that index file is /var/www/hello world folder. And the server name is this IP address. Again, when you deploy your stuff, like once you set up your URLs, this is where you'll put your bob.com and then set up a CNAME alias on your everything on your registrar to send it to the server. But for now, Let's do that. Escape, Shift ZZ to save and quit. And then you can look back in Slack for that sudo ln-s. So you'll say, you can skip the sudo for now, ln space -s. And then the path to the new configuration file you just wrote, /etc/nginx/sites-available space. And then the path to the sites enabled.
I got everything I like to build the create some other thing. No problem.
Yep.
You already got it done. You already. Oh yeah, here's still in there.
You know, I wouldn't be showing up in sites available. I already cloned it. It's like, it's in like my bar/www.
Yeah, you have to create the sites available file yourself. It doesn't come automatically. Okay, and then service nginx reload. And then I just went to my IP address. Mine, I put a :5678 so it knows what port to look at. And there's my awesome web page.
That was terrifyingly fast. I didn't know you should.
I read my personality test and I'm like in love with it. It's really fun. Take it. It's really do it. Like I would say I just like commander. Steve Jobs was a commander. We are. Oh. Yeah. INFPs, the only one that's not into it.
I don't really put a whole lot of stuff.
Oh, libertarian. Like you see all of it, like.
There's different,
Yeah.
there's a whole array of tests. They're all different. No, I know, but like there's lots of just in that.
Right.
So, like I usually don't care. You're just realizing that. Just realizing that. Oh, you always
That's why it's like, might be a little off, but it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate, but at the same time, you have to be aware of like conversations.
Oh, I mean, it basically,
So, okay.
mine would be totally like that. Like, you are, it's like, damn. I'm so hard not to. But I think my like intuition is, I don't know. Thank you. Yeah, really nice. Because I think it's because I tried, like I've read that before, and I've had people tell me that I tried really well, like not really. So I just have to attempt to do it. Like sometimes I have to catch my commission. One time like this, like the. So the meetings are like really good. And that's like normal, like you're really annoyed if you're like. Exactly, yeah. That's my environment. Alright guys, I'll see you. And then. Oh, so. Target, but so this thing, I take the function at this area of me very much. But yeah, so you don't have to. I'm gonna come back here at like 700. But I don't know when, like I have a lot of stuff to work on, so I gotta kind of like see.
Between the root ad and then the.
And then I'll I know I know that. Oh, yeah.
The root ad is like actually plus the. Okay, so yeah, like that's like these.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm ready to go today. So.
Yeah, there's a.
But, yeah, so I know that.
So this is. Oh, do we do that? I just have to.
Like, I don't know. But I really did want to. That's why I went to the here. That's the thing. And then having another experience.
Yeah, so this is, that's one way to do it. We can, that will make it so that you can go to. Once you tie, once you purchase a guy, they'll set up a seating points to. No, so and then what we'll do is we'll also set up a snowboard dot. Or whatever dot. So servers that point to here and change the server to like. Yeah, those all this is just what all this exact same. Address, and the address and this instead of having that address, you say the exact same. Another thing you can do, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards, is have the affiliation model. Because SEO, it's better to have some folders, like only with a slash non, so that's what that is. Subject. And so yes, the invitation slash. instead of like, move to something like just send your index file for your doesn't have a backend, but then if it's location slash store, do proxy pass it, just 8,000 or something like that. So this would actually be in a different file.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, it would be the same file. Did you upload your portfolio?
Not the, I'm just saying, so far I have like this eight app and I have this I still need to add a result for the class. Oh, so they say. Oh.
I have to look at this.
So with every single like site that I create, I can just like do like SEO by putting it on.
Well, it's a benefit of SEO. It's not.
So if I was gonna take like a Java site and I would like link the domain to, so I have to check out this one.
That doesn't make sense.
I think that's a lot of sense.
I mean, you could, yeah. Drop the site.
Yeah.
Do you know the solution?
No, I never. I would
put that out.
It's just where it shows you all of it. Does way more than first base. Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, like I've been looking at this. I guess
So this is really change so this is it just makes sense. Like, what is actually
it lives right in your browser itself, so the application and so you're basically that you track just
maybe there's